Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Heartland Havoc. I am your host, Caleb Long. Along with me is my beautiful co-host, who is not going to get any fancy intros because I could not think of any. It's Chris Long.
Hey,
We're
District 4 AA Team Wrestling Special.
District Duals. The District
Duals
Duals have
Special.
kicked off. Yeah, and I mean, we're trying to run fast because there are still other, like, the bracket's set, but like teams are still having wrestling matches. Mount Carmel and Shikalimi are playing tonight, so we're going to get this in. We're recording this before the match and then posting it after. But Tuesday night, exactly. So we're getting it in before the pigtails and all those matches that are going to be happening Wednesday. And yeah, where was I going with this? Okay, yeah. Sorry. So normally the pigtails would have been scheduled for Monday to like narrow the bracket down to 16, and then everyone wrestles on Wednesday. But you weren't living under a rock, or maybe you're living under some snow. I don't know. Because of the snowstorm that hit Sunday and carried over into Monday and bled over a little bit into today because of there were like 2 hour delays today, right?
Yeah, I think that was some of that was because of snow drifting. Some of it was because of cold. We're looking at 2 hour delays again tomorrow.
Really, bro? Yeah, just cancel the entire week of school. Honestly, cancel the entire week of school.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday's gonna be the day where a
Right.
full school day. Thursday's gonna be your full school day. So, hooray for that! I mean, I don't really care. I'm not in school anymore. All I care about is opening a sandwich shop. That's all I care about. Okay, we're getting off topic, but the pigtails and the pigtail matches and the round 1 of the bracket, the Sweet 16, I guess, are all in one night, and all the pigtail matches will be hosted by the team that they would face off in the round of 16. So yeah, we'll get an example of that, but all 3 teams are going to weigh in at the same time, and then the 2 pigtail teams are going to wrestle, and then after that, those matches, I think it said it was going to be 30 minutes time between that match and then the first round, the Sweet 16 match.
Right.
So we have 19 teams total. We did have 20 initially when the bracket was released. Lewisburg was a part of the bracket, and then they dropped out like an hour or 2 later, and we'll highlight who they would have faced off and if when we get there. But here we go. Let's start off with the bracket.
Okay. Where are we starting at?
Just go from the top to the bottom.
Mifflinburg is the number 1 seed. Yep. They host the pigtail matchup of 16 versus 16 seed Hughesville versus 17 seed Troy.
Okay. Troy is overall looking at this pigtail because with some of these teams we haven't talked about.
Right.
Troy is now this is confusing me, and I think I figured out why. They're technically 9-10. Technically, they're a below 500 team, but they did play Williamson twice. So I don't know if they would have only counted that as one matchup as a loss and be 9-9, but there's something either didn't work out with the. I don't know how they're in here. I don't know how they're in here.
Maybe that record's not accurate.
No, it is. I counted the numbers. Okay. I counted the numbers when I looked at it. Yeah. No, the record's accurate. I genuinely think it's because they played Williamson twice and they just like
only counted one of the losses.
They only really counted one of the losses, so that would put them at 9-9. Okay. That is my actual guess. Okay. And yeah, squeaking in the tournament, but Hughesville is a better wrestling team than them. So if I have to say anything, it would definitely be Hughesville moving on in that pigtail, and then Mifflinburg. It was either gonna be Mifflinburg or Montgomery for that top spot, but I
Right.
think uh, more so Mifflinburg and Montgomery didn't play each other, so it was more so based off of like coaches' rankings and like strength of schedule. And I do think Mifflinburg had the better strength of schedule, like definitely did have the better strength of schedule
Yep.
than Montgomery.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked that Mifflinburg is the top seed.
Right. And they're powerful top to bottom.
Oh, and they're absolutely
Or
incredible.
bottom to the top, however you're
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, however you want to look at it. But no, they are a very good team. And I mean, it's a congratulations to Troy and Hughesville for making their way into the bracket. But I'm gonna assume that Hughesville has a decent shot of beating Troy. But then again, when you look at like the PHAC Division 3 duels, Hughesville got clobbered by Mifflinburg, even if it's the different matchup and Troy's facing off against Mifflinburg. They're gonna get walloped.
Yeah, I see Mifflinburg easily advancing to Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But they will host both matches on tomorrow night, starting at 6:00.
Yes, they will.
Okay. Moving on to the next matchup is a regular round of 16 match, and this is the Tomato Bowl of football of wrestling. Warrior Run at Milton.
Tomato Matt. That didn't sound good.
Nah.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, well, this one's a very interesting one.
This is your 9-8 matchup.
This is your 9 and 8 matchup, and you might think, I remember looking at this when the brackets were initially released, and Milton did a very beat Warrior Run pretty convincingly. It was a 47-24 win, but one of their star wrestlers, one of Warrior Run's star wrestlers, Max Wernsberger, did not wrestle.
Okay, so there's points that they didn't get.
Points that they left on the table. And I don't know. I mean, there are some wrestlers that had for Warrior Run that had that have done well in the past that didn't win in this matchup. Kale Major was one of them. He lost to Gavin Batman. He lost to Gavin Batman. He is Batman. But I guess a decent amount has changed. Warrior Run is okay-ish during duels, but they're not like cream of the crop. And I still think Milton's definitely the favorite. I think they're more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Warrior Run's pretty top-heavy, but I think Milton's more well-rounded, and then that's where I think they'll get the upper hand is like those weights where you're not wrestling Max Wernsberger and
right
and the Milheim boy
and the Milheim.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Warrior Run is definitely in the upper weights. It could be interesting to see who wins, where they start that match at, and how the lineup.
Yeah, exactly. Where those fall, but Warrior Run needs to focus. Both of these teams need to focus.
Because if Warrior Run, if they start in one of the upper weights and they get some bonus points early, it could get momentum going for them.
They could. They absolutely could.
No, that would be key. I think Coach Betts may want to start in the upper weights, and
he has the chance.
See what happens.
Yeah.
But that's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our 9-8 matchup. Looking at the other part of this bracket, the number 12 seed Towanda will travel to the number 5 seed Southern Columbia.
All right. Towanda is 12-9 on the season. We did see some crossover from them, against some Heartland teams. They lost to Montgomery and they beat Jersey Shore, lost to Montoursville, beat Central Columbia, and I will say this now, and then lost to Warrior Run, lost a close one to Warrior Run. The Warrior Run loss is sort of like a litmus test because it is
right.
One of their more recent matchups. It was on February 14th.
January
14th. My bad. But yeah, and we know what Warrior Run is. In the northern tier, when I'm sort of looking at it, there's sort of there really is like there are some teams that did qualify. We're talking Troy, we're talking Towanda. We're gonna cover Northeast Bradford, and then there is like a decent jump between those teams, and then like the next couple. So I mean, not record wise, but like talent wise and results wise in the northern tier. But I do think Southern Columbia will just almost have their way. I would say that Southern Columbia is the favorite out of
Yeah, sure.
those two, and then they have what's the next matchup?
Next matchup is number 13 Northeast Bradford at number 4 Lime Mountain. Now we looked at this before. This is about a 2.5 hour drive by car from Northeast Bradford to Lime Mountain.
Yeah, no, exactly.
At least they don't have to get out extra early and play that pigtail
I
match
know.
against Lewisburg like originally was scheduled.
I know. And honestly, that would have been a win for Northeast Bradford. I'm pretty sure they were the highest seed that would have had a pigtail.
Yeah.
And Northeast Bradford is that almost, in my opinion, that's end of that second tier in the northern tier, the second tier in the northern tier. But they are a decent team, 11-5. They went 3-5 in the northern tier. Not much of there were like some cross pollination. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Crossover matches.
Crossover matches. The only two really to note are Hughesville, where they won 26-24, low scoring dual meet for them, and then they beat Central Columbia 40-27. And I mean that Hughesville one was very early on, and then that Central Columbia one was on January 13th. But I believe when we talk about Line Mountain, Line Mountain is just the better team. They're 11-2 overall, and they went 5-0, and they won their Tri Valley Conference.
They're really a solid team, and
they have some hammers in the top.
Yep,
their
upper weights.
They have some hammers in the upper weights.
Right.
They faced off, and their biggest match. Their only two losses came from Tri Valley and Shikellamy, and they were only 2-point losses. That Shikellamy match, they were down, if I remember correctly, 32 to like 15 or something like that.
Oh.
And then their upper weights up until heavyweight, they were just pins. They rattled off like four pins.
Okay.
And it was 36-32, and then their heavyweight matchup, which their heavyweight wrestler isn't bad, but they were facing Brody Raybuck.
Brody Raybuck.
Brody Raybuck. Absolutely not Brody Raybuck. And then Brody Raybuck pinned him. And I let me pull it up if I can pull it up. I remember that match taking a decently long time. It was Brody Raybuck pinned him in the third period.
Wow.
Like that's still a really good heavyweight wrestler.
For a heavyweight.
Honestly, I mean, they're the 4 seed, but like they could definitely challenge Mifflinburg if they cross paths in the semifinals.
Well, that's who they could possibly face.
That's who they would have Southern Columbia
out. They could face them in the semis.
No, Line Mountain could be the sneaky team that could get the qualification spot from like because we're sending 3 teams in out of our district. They could be that third team. That's my statement right there.
Okay.
Line Mountain could easily qualify.
I like it.
I could see it happening.
I like it. I imagine they have some crossover of their football players to that team.
Yeah, they do.
Pretty good. So that is the Lime Mountain matchup. Now we're moving to the bottom half of the bracket. The number 3 seed Montoursville will host the winner of number 19 Muncie and number 14 Mount Carmel.
Yeah, that Muncie
very interesting matchup there.
Yeah, no, that Muncie Mount Carmel matchup is very interesting. Muncie's a little bit of the underdog, 7-6, barely squeaking into the tournament, and then I'm trying to remember which division Mount Carmel was in. They were in 2, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Mount Carmel 10-7. I think give it to Mount Carmel, but I could potentially see a world where Muncie wins this.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, both of them are running into Montoursville,
which would be a hammer for either one of them right there.
Really a hammer for either one. I mean, I think we saw Montoursville curb stomp Mount Carmel in their in their dual matchup, but that's besides the point.
Okay, the next matchup, we have an all Northern Tier matchup here
Yep.
with number 6 Williamson hosting number 11 Canton.
Now, yeah, these are the two. These are two of like almost the tier ones of the Northern Tier, and like Canton, even though they went 9-7, went 5-3 in the league. Williamson for me is the top team, obviously.
Okay.
Out of the Northern Tier, Williamson also sort of maybe a sneaky, like a dark horse
Uh-huh.
to challenge that final spot to qualify for the
Okay.
next round of the district for the dual tournament.
If they move on, they'd probably face Montoursville there.
Yeah, and that one's a tough matchup, but I think you could. I think for them, they could potentially run through that consolation bracket to get to the third.
Nice.
The
Nice.
third.
Nice thinking.
I will say over there, Williamson's only league loss in the Northern Tier was Towanda, and then they beat Wyalusing, which is the only other, to spoil it, the only other Northern Tier team get a top 8 seed.
Right.
But
Yep.
I do think Williamson is the top team in the Northern Tier, and in their matchup against Canton, they won 40-21, but that was December 17th.
Okay.
And Canton's rattled, like literally went on a win streak to qualify them. They rattled off 4 wins in a row to get them to the spot. So I think they want to hope for a potential to keep that win streak going.
Nice. Ready for the next matchup?
Yep.
Okay, we have number 7 Wyalusing hosting number 10 South Williamsport. I find this one pretty interesting.
Yeah, South Williamsport. This is a bit of a tough draw for Wyalusing. I think.
I think so too. This is a tough. Yeah. Go ahead.
There could have been way more favorable teams that got like that 10 to 12 range. So I think this is a tough draw for Wyalusing. Wyalusing 15-6.
Wow.
7-1 in the league. Yeah. I mean, that's why I mean, Williamson definitely the better team than Wyalusing. But a couple of interesting losses to take note of. They lost to Line Mountain 36-33. That was in the Line Mountain duels.
Who was that? Wyalusing.
Wyalusing.
Okay.
Yeah, close loss. And I'm trying to see anything else. They did not really compete with anyone from our area that much. Oh, and the beginning of the season they lost to Montgomery 46-15.
Sure.
So some tough losses to teams at the top. And then yeah, on January they lost to Williamson, January 22nd, 35-29.
Okay.
I could see the world where South Williamsport upsets here.
Yep. Definitely.
And I could definitely see that. South Williamsport's one of those sneakier teams.
Well, they've been on a bit of a hot streak,
They
as we've been talking about.
Yeah, they have been. They are, yeah, because they did the North Star duels, and then they kind of they swept that.
They had their own little try meet or whatever.
Their own little try meet that they did really well in, and in their individual just dual matchups, they did very well. So I can see a world where South Williamsport keeps their momentum and wins it.
Right. Next, then, we have a pigtail match, the last pigtail match. Number 15 Central Columbia versus number 18 Sullivan County, and that will be taking place at Montgomery.
Sullivan County went it going 10-8 and 3-1 in the mid Atlantic. Mid Penn. No, not the Mid Penn.
It is Mid Penn.
It's Mid Penn. Okay, I got it mixed up with the Tri Valley. That's my bad. And there is a decent amount of cross pollination. Wins over Danville and Loyalsock, but they're not in the tournament. But like decent wins. Yeah, no, they've faced teams in our area. I guess some of the more interesting ones is that they went 1-1 against Muncie. They beat Muncie 39-34, and then lost to Muncie 41-30, and that loss was in the quarterfinals of the Mid Penn Conference.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
So, but they have played teams in our league. Did I say that they lost to Hughesville 44-21?
No, you didn't.
I did
Now
not
you
say
did.
that.
You did now.
I said that now. And I mean, Sullivan County is one of those teams, and they've also got some losses to some northern tier teams that are in the tournament. Sullivan County, happy that you made it here.
Yep.
I think Central Columbia, out of every team that you've played in the PHAC, is probably
Best.
their strongest opponent that they've faced.
Yeah.
And that doesn't bode well, I don't think.
No, so probably Central winning that one.
And then they face Montgomery.
Take on number 2 seed Montgomery,
which they've won the entire thing. So I think it's a done deal for Montgomery to move on into the next round.
right?
And yeah, those are the pigtails in the Sweet 16. I'm probably going to say that we're going to see a championship of Mifflinburg and Montgomery.
It's hard not to say that. It really is
hard not to.
Both undefeated.
It's hard to not go chalk on this one because there is definitely a clear cut between Montoursville and Montgomery. There's a clear cut between them.
Yeah,
there's a gap.
And Mifflinburg really handled Montoursville at Montoursville in the regular season.
Exactly, and I think Montgomery, if they were given the same schedule, would do the same.
It's just where the difference is between those top two teams. So the battle will be for now. Take 3, so the battle will be for third place.
The battle's going to be in that consolation bracket.
You can mark it. You can mark in Montgomery and Mifflinburg as going to states.
Yes.
And then who's going to get third?
Literally, who's going to get third is going to be very interesting because we have the top team in the northern tier, Williamson. You have Line Mountain, the top team in the in their conference, who I think might have the best shot to do so.
Yep.
You have Southern Columbia and you have Montoursville. Those are 4 teams to fill out one spot. I'm gonna be real. That consolation bracket is going to be a bloodbath. An absolute bloodbath.
It's going to be interesting to see when so they drop down there. So they'd have to win 2. So the loser of what I'm looking at here is if you work this out, if Southern and Line Mountain win their round of 16, then they face each other in the quarterfinals, round of 8. Then the loser, that would be.
I don't know. It doesn't specify how the bracket works
specify who goes where. No,
it wouldn't. But
kind of weird.
But still,
anyhow, doesn't look like there's enough.
No, the math works out.
Okay,
the math works out because you're going to eliminate 4 teams in rounds in the quarterfinals, and then you're knocking 2 out.
Oh yeah, so the quarterfinals.
And then
if you lose in the first, right, you have to win at least one match to get down the consolation.
Mm-hmm.
I see. It's not a true double elimination. That's what was throwing me off.
Yeah,
it's not a true double elimination.
No. This is all being hosted at Milton. You have to get to the quarterfinals to get to the consolation.
Gotcha.
Yep. And then 4 teams in the semifinals. It's the 2 teams, and then the 2 teams that make the final automatically qualify. So then it's really just the quarterfinal losers and the semifinal losers.
That's what it is. So the semifinal losers are the top, or the teams coming in there off the second round. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, I mean, once again, 4 teams really for one spot. It's gonna be brutal for that last spot. It's going to be fun to watch if you're actually going to be there. I can't be there. I work, and I don't know. That's sad. That's tough, but we'll just deal with it.
Is what it is.
We do have 3A, and I low-key kind of forgot to.
Well, 3A. Oh yeah, it is Saturday.
Yeah, no, it's also Saturday.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't until the next week for some reason.
I totally forgot.
Well, it's pretty easy. Let's go through them.
Do see Columbia, Montour, Tech, and Athens, but
we'll just go through the matchup. Yep. And then the 1 versus 4 match, you have Selinsgrove Grove versus CMVT, Columbia, Montour, Tech. Imagine Selinsgrove Grove will get by in that one.
Columbia, Montour, Tech has a losing record. They're only in it because they need to fill 4 spots.
Then you have Schick and Athens in the next other semi.
Athens isn't terrible.
No.
Let me see if I can
Very
look it up real
interesting.
quick.
Athens is actually the 2 seed.
Yeah,
So,
I would still have Schickel
I
in
would
the
think
favorite,
Schick
though.
would win, and then that would set up that rematch of they just wrestled last week, right?
Yeah, they did just wrestle last week.
But they take 3 teams also to the States out of that.
It's just one.
One team
It's
goes.
just one team.
But they wrestle out for 3rd place.
Wrestle out for 3rd place.
Gotcha.
I guess so. It's just
4th place is just like the worst team.
Well, technically not, because there's
because they had to
Jordan
qualify.
Williams.
They had to qualify.
Technically, they were better than
Qualified.
Jersey Shore
They
and
qualified.
Williams.
Never mind. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but that is a quick podcast.
It is, but hey, we got the people, the matchups. You know what's going on.
Yeah, this was
we will do maybe a follow up after the round.
Yeah, I think
combine.
Yeah, go for it.
I think the next one that will include basketball will combine what happens in the first round of 16 Wednesday night. So that will probably be recorded. What did we say? Thursday night?
Thursday at some point.
Thursday at some point, and we'll go from there and look for it to come out later this week as we head towards the postseason already of the winter sports.
Yeah, I know. Hey, and I love that you were giving an outro right there. Absolutely love it. Do you have a talking time machine?
Do I have a talking time machine?
It's okay if it's no, because
no talking time machine on this. Well, no talking time machine on this one. I'm not prepared for it.
Quiz.
Well, I was going to quiz you. I believe I'm not 100% on this. I don't know if there's a District 4 wrestler. That's more an individual question. But a District 4 wrestler who's won 4 state championships. I know of one. I'm not sure if there's one more recent or not. The one I'm thinking of was in school around the time I was in school.
Right.
Be a more recent.
Not the same school, right?
Oh, the same school.
Same school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
this is gonna really show how much of a freaking fraud I am. This is gonna show how much of a fraud I am. My mind went to Jason Betts first.
Not Warrior Run. Oh wait, Jason Betts was a well, he might have been a 4-time state champion. That might have been more recent.
I think he might have been close. I think I know he had multiple. I don't know if he had.
That might have been more recent. I didn't think it. No, this would have been the school I graduated from. So,
wrestlers. Thankfully for you, there is a database, on PA wrestling.
Yeah, there is.
I'm gonna look up Jason Betts right now.
He did wrestle at Penn State.
I'm gonna be real. I probably don't know this. Being straight up, keeping it a hundo, keeping it a. Oh no, I went too far. Yeah, I did. Yeah, we're doing intensive research right here.
Yeah, sorry about this.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, this entire database, which is... Oh, it doesn't go that far back. Look up Betts, and it's not in the database. There's Logan Betts from West Mifflin. He's a junior.
You'd have to know the year.
Oh wait, no. I am doing. No, actually. I'm looking in the wrong spot. That's exactly where I'm looking. I'm looking in the wrong spot.
4 championships. The last one. Okay, so now this is not right. Oh, because he won AAA one time.
So it is right. Oh.
So
no.
AA, the last AA one that won all in AA was John Hughes from from Benton.
Okay. I do not know
88
that.
to 91.
We're learning stuff here. Isn't that great?
And then the other issue is I'm in Double A. The one from Milton wrestled at least one of them in Triple A. So that's what's interesting about that one. Most championships, see where he falls. He does not fall anywhere for titles. So that's interesting. You're not finding him there because one, I believe, was in AAA. So the person I'm talking about,
Yeah, just tell me who you were thinking of.
Is Bob Crawford.
Hey, I should have done. I felt like I've heard that name before.
Yeah, so
I've absolutely heard that name before.
Won.
Feeling my shame, man.
Let's see if he won 3 in Double A. There, Jason Betts won 3.
Okay, that's what I was.
His senior year, he got 3rd.
That's what it was.
His senior year, he got 3rd in 95. Mike Garcia from Mount Carmel, the dad of the Garcia boys, won 3.
Yep. Sports in his blood.
Connor Hare from Montgomery won 3.
Yep.
That's the most recent one.
That is definitely the most recent one.
You got Gavin Hoffman from Montoursville, who won 3. Jim Martin from Danville won 3. Lime Mountain, Mike Shingaro back in the 90s won 3. These are all Double A titles.
Yeah, also heard that Mike Shingaro might have been on when we were down at Lime Mountain, might have been on the radio for a little bit.
Okay.
I remember Steve Williams talking about him.
Quite possibly.
That is a name that is familiar now.
Quite possibly. So, still not seeing Crawford.
Well, maybe you can do your research after we end the podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Then we can talk
Good
about
enough.
it next
All
time.
right. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. Hey.
It's all good.
Go watch some wrestling. What do we think is the most entertaining matchup? Okay, well, no, Milton Warrior Run is probably the most entertaining matchup out of the first round, I would say. But I think bang for your buck, you can go to one of the Pigtail matchups.
I'm planning on checking out the Mifflinburg Pigtail.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Out there.
A little bit of an obligation.
Yeah, just
for whatever reason.
Checking it out. So it's all good. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Go watch some wrestling.